Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into the pretty shadowy world of international organized crime.
Mm-hmm.
We're focusing specifically on some, well, very recent developments involving Irish nationals operating abroad.
Right.
Our source material for this deep dive is excerpts from Ireland's Costa del Crime Crackdown. And let me tell you, it's a fascinating, if maybe a little unsettling read.
Definitely unsettling. Yeah.
So we're jumping right into a huge event that really anchors our discussion today.
Okay.
This massive cocaine and cannabis bust that recently went down on Spain's sun-drenched Costa Blanca.
A really significant one.
Exactly. And the immediate impact. 4 Irish nationals were apprehended right then and there.
Yeah.
But what really struck me, reading through the source, was how this wasn't just, a local Spanish thing.
No, connections run deeper.
The international connections here are just crucial. Gardaí, the Irish police force, were apparently hot on the trail of a Lithuanian drug mob and explicitly linked back to Ireland. It just vividly shows this wasn't some, isolated incident.
It's part of a much larger web, absolutely.
And this whole event, as our source points out, it truly exposes what it calls the dark underbelly of Irish organized crime.
A stark phrase, but it seems fitting based on the detail.
It really is. It's a stark reminder that these networks are just not confined by national borders.
And what's fascinating here is how this specific incident ties into something much larger.
Oh.
A frankly quite intriguing claim mentioned in the source material. It references Interpol's assertion that Irish criminals are actually top tier globally.
Top tier globally. That's quite something.
It is, and it raises a really important question for you, our listener, and for us to unpack. What does that kind of classification really mean, in the context of international crime?
Yeah, how significant is a claim like that, especially coming from Interpol?
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the source itself immediately broadens the scope beyond just this one bust.
Right.
It directly asks some very challenging questions. Things like, how can Ireland stop the drug trade?
A massive question.
And whether Ireland should crack down harder on international crime networks. So our mission with this deep dive is really to unpack these complexities.
To go beyond just the headline.
Precisely. Moving beyond a simple news report to truly understand the underlying issues and what our source reveals about them.
Okay, so let's unpack this Costa Blanca bust a bit more then. The source kind of hints at a pretty sophisticated operation.
It does.
Can you maybe walk us through what the excerpts reveal about how this sting actually went down and what made it so significant beyond just, the sheer amount of drugs seized?
Absolutely. The excerpts from Ireland's Costa del Crime Crackdown detail this bust as really the culmination of some extensive surveillance.
So not just luck.
Not at all. And remarkable cross-border intelligence sharing. It involved a really coordinated effort between the Gardaí and the Spanish police. They were tracking this Lithuanian drug mob for some time.
The same mob linked back to Ireland.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And our source highlights that this particular bust wasn't just about the cocaine and cannabis, which, were substantial. We're talking very significant amounts.
Right, yeah.
But also about dismantling a sophisticated distribution network. They were using Spain as a major hub.
A hub for funneling drugs where?
Across Europe, according to the source, including, crucially, back into Ireland.
Wow.
And what's particularly revealing is how the source describes the Lithuanian mob's methods.
Go on.
Highly organized. They were leveraging seemingly legitimate businesses, logistics chains, that sort of thing, to mask their operations.
Making them incredibly hard to spot.
Exactly. Incredibly difficult to track without that deep, sustained intelligence work.
That's incredible. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How many seemingly innocent operations, trucks on the road, businesses...
Could be fronts, yeah.
Could be fronts for something far more sinister. And it vividly illustrates just how deeply woven these international threads are. Which I suppose brings us back to that powerful claim from Interpol.
The top-tier claim.
Yeah. The source references them calling Irish criminals top tier globally. That's such a bold statement. It goes way beyond just this single bust.
It does.
What exactly does our source reveal about what that top tier designation entails? I mean, is it just about the sheer volume of drugs they move, or is there more to it?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting, and our source does dive into this.
Okay.
This top-tier designation, according to Interpol via the source, isn't just about quantity, no. The excerpts reveal it speaks more to their sophisticated financial structures.
Financial. Like money laundering.
Exactly. Their ability to expertly launder vast sums of money across international borders, often using complex corporate structures, even digital currencies now.
Making the financial trails incredibly difficult to follow.
Almost impossible sometimes. It also points to their seamless cross-border operations, their skill at forging alliances with other international criminal organizations.
Like this Lithuanian mob.
Precisely like this Lithuanian mob. And chillingly, their capacity sometimes to corrupt institutions and individuals to help facilitate their illicit activities.
That's deeply concerning.
It is. The report, or the excerpts we have, even detail specific examples of their global reach, mentioning established routes and connections stretching from South America to various European hubs.
So, truly global.
It underscores their truly global footprint and, frankly, their resilience.
Wow. So it's not just street-level stuff we're talking about. This is like a global enterprise.
In many ways, yes.
Operating with a level of sophistication that, it almost matches legitimate multinational corporations in some aspects.
The comparison isn't entirely off in terms of operational complexity.
When you consider that level of organization and global reach, it really makes you appreciate the challenging questions the source then poses, doesn't it?
It really does.
How can Ireland stop the drug trade, and whether Ireland should crack down harder on international crime networks? What insights does the source offer on just how difficult it is to combat crime that truly knows no borders?
Yeah, this raises a really important point, and the source, thankfully, doesn't shy away from the complexities. It really underscores that combating this kind of transnational crime isn't a simple fix.
Why not? What are the main hurdles?
Well, several factors. Firstly, the jurisdictional complexities are just immense. Law enforcement agencies often hit walls.
Yeah.
When operations cross into different legal systems, different national sovereignties,
Bureaucracy and borders get in the way.
they can slow down investigations considerably, yes. And secondly, these criminal networks operate with incredible speed. They leverage instant communication, rapid logistics.
While the legal side takes time.
Exactly. Legal processes, international cooperation, well, they can be frustratingly slow in comparison.
And I suppose the money involved doesn't help.
That's another huge factor. The sheer profitability of the drug trade makes it incredibly attractive and very resilient. If you dismantle one network,
Another one pops up.
often, yes, another rises to take its place. The source suggests that effective countermeasures require, well, unprecedented levels of international cooperation.
More sharing, like in the Spanish case.
Proactive intelligence sharing, yes. And crucially, a focus on targeting the financial assets of these organizations. You have to hit them where it truly hurts.
Follow the money.
Follow the money. It's an ongoing battle, really, one that requires continuous adaptation from law enforcement.
Okay, so we've navigated this intricate web of international drug operations today. We used that significant bust on Spain's Costa Blanca as a prime example.
A very telling example.
We saw how it involved Irish nationals, revealed those crucial links to a Lithuanian mob,
Yeah,
vividly illustrating these are not just local operations.
not at all.
And we heard about the sheer scale of that massive cocaine and cannabis bust.
Yeah. And we really delved into the wider implications that our source material highlighted, particularly that assertion about Irish organized crime.
Right.
And that really intriguing Interpol claim suggesting Irish criminals are, in fact, top tier globally.
Which means more than just volume.
Exactly. We learned how that designation points to their sophisticated financial structures, their seamless cross-border operations, and their resilience. It truly encourages us, and you listening, to reflect on just how complex and far-reaching transnational crime really is.
Definitely food for thought.
And this raises an important question for you to consider, directly building on those challenging questions posed in the original source material.
Okay.
How can any country effectively combat a drug trade that operates so seamlessly across borders, with such deep pockets and sophisticated methods? And what does it truly mean to crack down harder on these incredibly complex international networks?
Difficult questions with no easy answers.
Yeah.
Indeed. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. What does it suggest about the ongoing challenges in our, hyper-connected world? When a nation's criminal elements are described by an organization like Interpol as top tier globally, take a moment perhaps to ponder the long-term societal, the economic impacts of such a designation.
And ripple effects.
Exactly. The ripple effects that a deep dive like this into global criminal enterprises can uncover about the world we actually live in.